Welcome to the Political Matrix News. Politics, people, local, regional, national news. Political Matrix News keeps you informed. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the political matrix. Hey, here it is, another fun-filled and exciting week. Sports fans, the Political Matrix blogcast is back with you. Rob Milford out of Orlando, Greg Fink sitting close to the seat of power. Okay, he's close to the swamp in Gainesville. And down there, that would be Scott Miller on the western frontier, the original first capital of Florida. That would be Pensacola. I can't believe that it's been that long since Andy Jackson came ashore, did the deal, told the Spaniards to get out of here, and took over. And the rest is history. Or as someone said about Pensacola, it's 485 years of history unhindered by progress. So the modern era hit Congress today. I got your .com right here. There was a major vote on TikTok. Should it be allowed? Should it be banned? What's going on? Oh, there was a vote in Congress, and the House voted overwhelmingly
Huge.
to get rid of TikTok, except the one member from the most conservative district in the United States. Shall we name him?
Keep it.
Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz voted against the bill. He went against the majority. He and a very small number of Republicans voted against the TikTok.
Yeah, I think him and 14 Republicans.
Yeah, but he was certainly the most high profile.
Yeah. Right.
What the hell? It said that a lot of pedophiles hide on TikTok. Scott Miller, not that you're an expert in either of those things, but what's your take?
Well, I got to say that I'm not surprised that Matt would do that, because Matt will do anything to get attention, because his primary goal is, since he can't build a coalition in Washington to get anything done, then his only other alternative is to say explosive things, which, by the way, when you give up on the premise that you're going to do anything productive, then it's very liberating. You can say whatever you want because you don't have to worry about who you offend.
Exactly.
All you got to do is throw red meat to your donors, and you'll be fat, dumb, and happy. And Matt is kind of all three.
I mean, the way Matt's doing this is very similar to the way TikTok actually works. I mean, Matt lives in a TikTok world. I mean, he is one selfie after another. He's one reel after another. And the whole idea is that he had actually want something like that. To destroy the family environment to go away. He doesn't care about the family environment. He doesn't care about all those issues that, family values and all that other stuff that people care about on social media, where it's actually hurting a lot of people. But also, this year, the bigger issue here is that it's tied to CCP. It's tied to China. And Matt doesn't seem to really have an issue at all with China or Russia or befriending anybody at all that is an enemy of the state. He has a history of this. In fact, there's a lot of land deals allegedly that he's been involved in throughout the Panhandle where that's come up, where he's helped broker deals with foreign Russians and foreign nationals that were Russian. They helped deals with the Chinese. And this is all about land that was near and dear to the military bases. And so, Matt Gaetz has a history allegedly of this. And so, it's not a surprise to me that he would want to support CCP.
I hope the Democrats or other Republicans are taking notes and adding this to his, what do we call that file that you build against a potential candidate? The what?
Dossier.
Yeah. I hope that we can keep track of this.
I'm actually conflicted on this whole issue, because on one hand, I do think that TikTok is a threat, and the Communist Party of China is a threat. I have a story I was talking about earlier, where a friend of mine who was having plush toys manufactured in China, and when he flew there one time to meet his contact that he'd been working with for a while, they had a few drinks, and his contact told him that as soon as he hit the ground and turned his phone on, that China had all of everything on his phone. And he just said, that's a bunch of crap. It's not true. And his buddy they stood up, walked out 2 or 3 blocks to a very nondescript building just down the street, and the guy just walked up to the first technician that he saw, told him a few things in Chinese, and the next thing you know, my buddy was looking at every phone call that he'd made, every text that he'd sent since his plane had landed, and he turned on his phone. And that was decades ago. Now imagine what they can do. And with AI coming on, it's only going to get more prevalent. So I understand the need to run the Communist Party out of the middle of our business. The other side of it is I want to make sure that the mechanism that they use to do it is entirely constitutional.
That's very true. I mean, we have to make sure that they're not stomping all of our rights to do it. I mean, TikTok is a social media platform, and it is basically, the huge idea of the First Amendment. I mean, people need to be able to say what they want and think what they want and everything else. At the same time, it doesn't need to be manipulated to be used against our people in a criminal or, possibly a very weird sort of manner.
Well, don't forget.
Once you have a good piece of audio from someone. Yeah, that's really about it. Now, where does Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act of 1996 play into all of this? It dovetails, shoehorns, tongue in grooves. What's the story?
Well, it just basically makes it more relevant than ever, the Section 230, because with the advent of AI, when Section 230 came out, there were numerous provisions that were kind of baked into it to make people that were running platforms like Facebook and Friendster and all these, newly evolving social media people, so that they could, they didn't have a real practical way of monitoring every single post that was made. There were going to be millions of them every day. So how are they going to know what was in them? So what they did was they said, well, since you're not the person writing it and you're just hosting it, then you can, we're going to give you a free pass. But if you want to moderate things that you feel are excessively violent or whatever, we'll give you also an insulated protection from that. The problem is now, with AI especially, every day almost, we get more technology that would allow them to monitor every single comment and moderate them in any way they want. So it really gives them the ability in such a nebulous way to control our lives that people don't really appreciate it yet, and they're not going to appreciate it till it's too late.
I think one interesting thing about Section 230 is that, it started out in 1996, and that was the time frame when the new election was coming out, and Tipper Gore was trying to, ban different rock and roll groups and everything else from playing music. At the same time, it was also when the internet really started up. We had the American Spectator talking about the Bill Clinton election and all the scandals with the, Paula Jones and all that type of stuff. And so people were blogging all that back time in the 90s, and Section 230 protected them and allowed them to go ahead and put stuff on the internet and a blog back then. This is well before social media. And that's one thing people don't realize is that, it's been around for a while, and it's been a very important part of keeping the First Amendment going. And this actually does dovetail back into TikTok. And so, TikTok, if it were actually used properly, it would be a great source of information, entertainment, and education. But as long as it's tied to the CCP, and China's getting all the raw data, I did not really know as detailed until Scott had told me that a couple of days ago about how very detailed all the raw data is on our phones and our computers. I think it is something we need to look at.
And all right, so basically, guys, let me run this through just to make sure we're all on the same page. If you look over Greg's shoulder to the left, you'll see a computer screen that's open. If you look behind Scott, there are a bunch of books. They can refine because they have the power. They can refine, and they can read the title of every book behind Scott. They can read every word on the computer screen over Greg's shoulder. Okay, right here, right now, as we see it. They'll probably can tell you what is in that picture up there and that picture up there behind me. I keep a lot of stuff covered up because I don't want people to know. The fact is that everything that's shot in a building, a public building of any kind, or on a military base, is all can be combined So you have a street view of everything. You can tell the layout of a building if it's not already public record. You can tell how tall fences are. All of those important intelligence things. They have a complete Bible on every piece of video that shows up on TikTok that is shot in the United States, down to the day and time, latitude, longitude, probably plus or minus 1 meter on the whole thing. So it's a giant intelligence gathering vacuum. It makes whatever the intel system we have, Predator and Velociraptor and something else. It makes those look like absolute amateur hour. Their power. They have entire army battalions of intel people who do nothing but hack, and that's all part of it.
Well,
we're going to take a break.
A very realistic scenario.
Okay. All right.
Well, just a real quick scenario that's very, very plausible. If they're already infiltrated into all of our utilities, like the water and the power and all this stuff. So when they know the schedules on those things, and then if they have they know who the senior people are, and they know that these senior people have social media accounts. They get into these social media accounts, they learn their habits. They know what days the people who could potentially fix a problem that they're going to install are going to be gone, or they can create a situation because they know their habits. They could send them I don't know, some surprise package or something like that. Make them gone on the day they decide to do their cyber attack, because they can discover what our days of highest vulnerability are.
They could do a deep fake.
There you go. That's I could not say it better. We got to take a break. This is the Political Matrix Blogcast.